Welcome to The Burning of the Midnight Amp, where we are dissecting music history, album by album, track by track. Today we are looking into Lazarus, a song by David Bowie. It's the third song from the album Black Star from 2016. Please remember to like and subscribe if you'd like to hear other analyses of other songs from this album, and in the future as well, albums and songs by other artists. If you would like to hear the full analysis of this album and the other songs on this album, then please subscribe to our podcast. And on top of that, if you'd like to hear the full podcast and in addition to that, listen along with us to other music from this album, then please support us on Patreon. Links and subscriptions are below. My name is Foda.
My name is Tron.
And my name is Chris.
And there we go. Should we jump right into it? Right into the song?
Let's do it.
Look up here, I'm in heaven. I've got scars that can't be seen. I've got drama, can't be stolen. Everybody knows me now. Look up here, man, I'm in danger. I've got nothing left to lose. I'm so high it makes my brain whirl. Drop my cell phone down below. That just like me. By the time I got to New York, I was living like a king. Then I used up all my money. just like me.
Applaud.
Yeah, I think it deserves
What a
that.
track.
Yeah, it is really perfect. I wouldn't change a single beat in this song.
One of his best. And that's saying a lot.
Certainly is. So there we are at the third track on Black Star, Lazarus. And this song was actually first heard not on record, but in a live performance. Not by David Bowie, but by who, Chris?
Michael C. Hall, who played the character of Thomas Jerome Newton in the Broadway, also off-Broadway play called Lazarus, written by David Bowie and Enda Walsh. Premiered in early December 2015, about a week before the single was released. Lazarus is also the last song that Bowie performed live, meaning in front of a live audience, because he attended the rehearsals for the Lazarus play, and on one occasion that autumn of 2015 he was overhearing the band going through musical numbers, and they were asking him, do you have any opinions, suggestions? And then he said, yes, I would like to sing. So we joined them on stage, and he performed for one time only Lazarus in front of the cast. So that's his last performed song.
And his last appearance, as I said, in early December, and some days later in December, on 17th of December, the single was released as a digital download. It was a couple of weeks later accompanied by the music video, which came out on 7th of January, which sadly was just 3 days before Bowie passed away. So in many ways, the song is considered Bowie's swan song. And according to Bowie's producer, Tony Visconti, the lyrics and the video of Lazarus was intended to be a self-epitaph, a and a commentary on Bowie's own impending death.
Viewing the video when it came out and a couple of days later, it's very different experience. It's impossible to view the video without having his death being a part of it.
Maybe you can describe the video a little bit.
The video is directed by John Rank, who also directed the Black Star video, and it shows Bowie in two personas. One is his notes called it the somnambulist, the sleepwalker, the man with bandages and buttons for eyes, who's mostly in bed, if I remember correctly, looking very ill, almost trying to break free from the bed, but rising up, but going back into the bed. And in the same room, there's also this slightly scary-looking, grinning demon-like Bowie, who is dressed in. He has the same outfit that he has on Station to Station. Not the front cover, but the back cover in some editions, where I think it was Tom Shapiro who took the images, where he had a black sweater and drew some lines, white lines on them diagonally. And in the original pictures, he's also drawing the Kabbalistic tree of life. And he has the same outfit here, which also makes this connect to the Station Bowie, just like Black Star connected to Station Bowie. And he, in the end, this grinning Bowie sits at the table and writes and bites his teeth. It's like he's racing time to say what he has to say before time runs out.
And in a way, it was like that, because the video was filmed in November 2015 in Brooklyn, in New York, around the time when the doctors reportedly informed Bowie that there was nothing more they can do.
And in the end of the video, he puts down his pen and then he walks slightly backwards in a sleepwalking type of way and into a closet that he closes. Very eerie ending in the context. But I think John Rank said it was sort of a joke proposed by one of the crew during the filming, and Bowie took the idea and did it, and it works very well. It's both unsettling and very touching. It's a very touching video to view after his death. I think when I saw it before his death, it was more the unsettling part.
Well, I remember also watching it before, and my arms, like the hair on my arms, just stood up by watching this performance. But then you just watch it as type of Bowie art piece, that he has done several times before, and then the news came a couple of days later, and it's never going to be the same to watch that video ever again.
But it's nice to have him come full circle on a couple of things on this album, and in this video you can see the mime that he pursued in the beginning of his career, and also in videos and stage performances all out his career. It has a strong element of mime, especially the end of the video with the writing segment and walking backwards. So don't mock the mime, because this is a mime that can erase the hair on your arms.
Coming out when the video came out, and I mean, it seems almost like it was very, very well planned. Of course, he probably didn't know the date when he was dying, of course. But looking back at it now, it was in a way a perfect time to release that song, and it puts it in maybe go some years back to when Johnny Cash released the Hurt video. Sort of, there are not many artists that can end their careers and their lives in such a way.
In the public eye.
In public eye. I think it's only Bowie and Johnny Cash that has been managed to achieve that by coincidence or not. But it's a pretty impressive feat to do that. Music video itself. It was released in a bit odd ratio, a 1:1 ratio, squared ratio. There was actually a widescreen cut available for a very short while on YouTube before it was taken down. So that exists, of course, but the official one is a 1:1 ratio. I don't think I ever heard or read any explanation for that. It's a bit of an odd
No
choice.
idea. But of course, the old silent movies that we mentioned on Black Star, and they were more square, but not completely square.
The music video itself, it was nominated for 3 awards at 2016 MTV Music Awards. It was for Best Direction, Best Cinematography, and Best Editing. I don't think it won any of those. Black Star video, of course, for Best Art Direction. So over to the music. The song, of course, starts very quiet. Starts with a single bass line played by Tim Lefebvre, and he said that he was inspired by The Cure and New Order, which kind of makes sense. They often use that sort of light.
It's a very Peter Hooky opening.
Yeah,
He always plays the light bass notes.
Could also be Joy Division, that opening.
And Tim Lefebvre also crafted the intro. That is basically the bass we're talking about here, the intro, and we hear it back again in the outro of the song. So he has had to be created that, and he has also said that he was inspired by the band Fink, which is one guy basically, Finn Greenall. Unfamiliar to me, but. And then, of course, the main song starts. I really love when the bass comes in and the drums come in there. And I must say, those first falling saxophone lines, they're...
Amazing.
It's some of that sad atmosphere they create, it's just incredible. I don't think I ever heard anything sadder in music than those saxophones. It's so extremely mournful.
No, it's something you would usually do with a synth theme, and here it's done with the saxophones, and it gives it a completely different feeling. It has this unusual, almost kind of slow beat to it, but it still keeps it together, and it reminds me of another drummer that was playing with David Bowie, Sterling Campbell, and on a BBC performance, I think it's 2000, he introduces him, and then he says that the way he plays, it's almost like he's just about to miss the beat, and then he just comes, and it gives you this kind of unexpectedness, because he's a bit slow on the beat, and that gives the song this kind of swing to it. That is really unique.
And my association is Walk on the Wild Side, which is another Bowie-produced song by Lou Reed, but of course that's a happy song, but it's also this slow bass-driven. But this is the It's the dark New Orleans funeral march version of it.
Never thought about that, but yeah, could make sense. Yeah.
I never thought about it as a happy song. So.
No, certainly not.
And there's some interesting guitar playing on this track. There's different guitars and different guitarists. And Bowie plays some of the guitar, the big chord going.
That's those stabs that you hear.
Stabs, yes. Yeah. And
he actually played that on a guitar that Mark Bolan gave him before he died.
Yeah, just a few weeks before, 1977. And interesting soloing in the end from McCaslin. I think that is, except from the beginning that you pointed out, I think one of the standout moments is the end, the last vocal part, and how it just melts into the saxophone, where the saxophone goes where the vocal cannot. The saxophone becomes the voice, taking us into some voiceless, wordless territory.
It does, and that last verse there, I mean, you have two verses and then like a bridge, and then that goes straight into a third verse when it becomes particularly powerful. And the way he sings there and the way he delivers those lines, it reminds me a bit of another song that I also found very powerful back on Heathen 2002 called Slip Away. At the end there as well, he kind of sings those lines there as well in a very similar way. Both very powerful, and I really like when he does that.
Yeah, that's also a masterpiece, that song.
And then we have the lyrics, and I mean, it does have a lot of images in there that certainly can be interpreted to Bowie's state at the time. Look up here, I'm in heaven. I have scars that can't be seen.
It's very hard to interpret it. No.
I mean, it was written for the play, right, or the musical, but still, it is very hard to imagine it not being about Bowie's state at the time, and the fact that he had cancer at the time, and although he might not know then that he was dying, it's still very hard to look away from the fact that association there between the lyrics and the fact that he was sick with cancer. He had the scars inside that couldn't be seen, and that he later passed away from.
At the same time as it definitely fits with the man who fell to earth. I'm so high it makes my brain whirl.
Yeah, it's like many songs on his two last album that he could be singing about himself, but he could also be the actor that he's always been, playing characters, playing voices. It's obviously Thomas Jerome Newton's voice, as it is him who utters the song in the play Lazarus, but it's also, as Frode said, it's almost impossible not to interpret it as Bowie singing about himself. And I don't see why it has to be one or the other. He probably deliberately did that on many songs, so why not on this as well? And the video just adds to that interpretation that this is a song about himself. Originally called Bluebird, I think.
You mentioned Bluebird in the end there, just like that Bluebird, and that was the original title of the song, and it was one of the songs that Bowie took to Maria Schneider when they made the single Sue together, next track on the album, and unfortunately, given the result of the song, maybe we should say also fortunately, she didn't have time to work on it. Although it would be very interesting to hear what she would have made out of it. It certainly wouldn't have sounded like this. But then maybe we wouldn't have gotten this version if she had worked on it. So.
True.
There are a couple of, I mean, obviously a serious song and the way it is associated with this impending death and all that. There are some lines in there as well that sort of is line there, drop my cell phone down below. Ain't that just like me? Like, huh. Oh, that's so typical me. Dropping my phone. And then you have in the bridge when he went to New York and I was looking for your ass.
I think it's the same as the more humorous parts of the video, that if the lyric had been all bleak and the video had been all bleak, it would have been almost unbearable. But you have the beautiful melody and you have this humor and this surprising line in the song, and that makes it very humane, and it makes the song.
Well, it does make it
not as close.
No, I think it adds to that you can. This song isn't only about Bowie. It adds to several characters that you can find. I could easily see this as a type of Wall Street character at times as well. You know, it's so it doesn't only have to be limited to his kind of artist style.
Doesn't close in on a certain interpretation, but it's open to live on. And McCaslin took this song with him and performed it after Black Star was released on several occasions, and at least one of them with Gail and Dorsey during the Bowie vocal parts. And it's very nice versions. So I'm sure there will be other versions of this song from other artists in the future, because it's a beautiful song, and I think it's a song that has many possibilities of interpretation. It's like a standard. There's something about it that it's like a standard. It has that evergreen quality.
It certainly has that evergreen quality. Classic Bowie song, being the last one he ever released while he was still alive. Thank you to our viewers for watching this analysis of Lazarus together with us. If you liked it, remember to like and subscribe, and join us next time when we will go through the next track on Black Star, which is Sue, or In the Season of Crime. Goodbye.